How's it going, everyone? It's that Blue Bath here, and welcome back to the channel and another video. Now today, folks, we're going to be chatting about something very important, and that is performance air filters. We're going to be discussing whether or not you should install one into your bath. Now, everything I say in today's video is based on my personal experience with the K&N Bath Performance Filter. Now, I've had this for a very long time, and it's been in the car for a majority of the time that I've owned it, but I experienced something very interesting indeed, because at one point my original paper filter got put back into the car, and let me tell you, folks, it was a very intriguing thing indeed. I discovered something that, well, I have to tell you guys, and it might make you think twice into buying something like it. Though, not to say that performance air filters are bad, because they definitely do come with some fantastic benefits. I'm just here today to sort of give you some tips and give you my personal thoughts and opinions on whether or not you should put one in yours. So here it is out of the box, and I must admit, it's a fantastic looking product, very professional, and it's even got the K&N logo stamped at the top. It's a really nice looking thing. Now, the main difference between the OEM filter and the performance one is this top segment here. On the OEM filters, you'll have a bunch of crisscross mesh that is meant to be the restrictive part of it, so removing it should increase your airflow. Now, on paper, the K&N filter is meant to increase your airflow and increase your performance by around 10%, which is pretty good. And hey, would you take that deal? Damn good deal, sign me up. And well, for only £50, I think this is worth it. Definitely, with the quality of it and how it's presented, I would definitely invest in one. I mean, well, I have, so it shows you that I was definitely impressed with the product enough to purchase one. Now, of course, though, I have come to realize that maybe performance filters, they might not be as good as I thought they were. Now, I'm not trying to throw any shade to K&N. They're an amazing company, and they know what they're doing, and most of their products are very beneficial to your car in terms of airflow, and they do increase your horsepower and performance. So I'm definitely not dissing K&N. They're a great company, and their products are amazing. This is just what I've personally experienced today, guys, and I want to share my experience with you in case maybe you've had the same experience, and maybe you'll go, hey, yeah, I actually did have that same problem. Now, with the K&N filter, you do get a lifetime warranty and some pretty awesome stickers too. So if you do ever take it to service, MOT or anything like that, you'll be fine. They won't throw it away, and nothing will be voided, which is great. The stickers will also back that up, because one of them does say that this product will not void your warranty, so keep it in there, all good, nothing needs to happen. Now then, it's time to talk about the paper filter, because like I mentioned in the intro, I made a very intriguing discovery, something that I thought wouldn't be the case, but actually it is. So I had my paper filter reinstalled a few months ago, and ever since that happened, the car has felt amazing. Now, most cars will run paper filters. It's just sort of a standard thing. Some performance cars will have performance filters, such as the Competiziones, some of the 695s, they run a BMC filter, which is just as good as the K&N, or maybe better, I don't know. I've heard very good things about the BMC, but personally, I think they're just as good as each other, but it's down to personal preference and opinion. But most of the models do have BMCs as standard. When it comes to the paper filter, you'll find that quite a lot of cars, even some performance cars, the craziest of the crazy, will actually run paper filters, such as the C63. My dad owned one for actually almost a year. It was a very long time, and it was a fantastic car.
Go on. Give it. Go on. Go on.
And that had paper filters. So what's that telling you? Maybe it's better to run a paper filter than a performance one. Though at the end of the day, all cars are different. They will all react different depending on what you do to them and what you install in them. They will either love it or hate it. And you'll instantly know as soon as you get onto the road. You'll either feel a difference in the way it drives or how it handles, and then you'll be able to figure out, is this good? Was it worth it? Or should I take it off and put the original part back on? And that's just how, tuning and modifying cars work. Sometimes you make a purchase that ends up being fantastic, or maybe it'll be the same, or you'll lose something. It's really just a look at the draw. And that is where we are going to cut to the driving segment, so I can tell you a little bit more about the paper filter and actually how it's pretty good. Right then folks, it's time for the driving segment, and once again I'm very excited to film it because I really enjoy doing these driving segments and driving videos, and don't worry, there's going to be more of them in the future because who doesn't love a good POV blast and driving video? It's always fun to record. Now, whilst we're on the drive, I'm going to be chatting to you about the paper filter and some of its benefits and why maybe it might be better to keep that than to buy a performance filter. So, I'm just going to start up the car and we'll get rocking and a rolling. Oh, lovely startup as well. I do have the seats up today, so you might not be able to hear the exhaust. Maybe you will, who knows, but sounds lovely as always. Now, like I said earlier, unfortunately it is raining, but we're going to make do and see how we get on. I mean, I don't plan to go absolutely mental, to be honest, so we're just going to take it easy and do a few laps around the industrial estate just like we did last time, because to be honest, all I want to do is just to chat to you about the benefits of the paper filter and how it's made this car just fantastic. Because one thing I need to tell you guys is that I've had the K&M filter for most of the time that I've owned this car, so to be honest, I haven't spent that long with a paper filter. I had my original one from when I bought the car, but that was junked, and then I put the K&M one in. So it's definitely been an eye-opener these last few months with having a paper filter. So what I'm going to do is chat to you about that experience. So we're going to put it in first gear, handbrake down, and let's go. Oh, and one thing as well with this driving video today is that you can see the gear stick, the brand new silver carbon comp shifter that I actually reviewed in my last video. And if you guys would like to see more about that, then feel free to watch the previous video, because this is a very awesome and interesting gear stick with actually an interesting story. So let's get moving. Now, the paper filter. With it being the stock filter, it's actually pretty good. Now, one thing you want to know about this paper filter is that it's very good for one particular reason, and that is torque. And I know, that blue bar, he's on about torque again. But one thing you got to realize, guys, is that torque is very, very important. It's king, and I always say that, and I always will, because torque is a very important factor when it comes to a car and its performance. It's the thing that allows you to move off with haste. Even before the turbo kicks in, that really nice kick of torque will allow you to go quite fast actually and get you out of sticky situations before the turbo actually comes on. And that's why torque is very important. It's a crucial thing to have. If you take away torque from a car, you'll notice that it feels very sluggish and it just won't feel right. Having torque in a car like this is very important, because with it being a small car with a big engine, it needs a good amount of torque for it to work. And taking all that torque away, the car will just feel sluggish and not very nice. You'll have to push more out of it before anything happens. And one thing I realized and came to experience with the K&M filter is that it actually takes away torque. I was finding that I had to struggle to get any power or performance out of the car. So I was putting my foot down and nothing was happening. I'd have to wait until I got maybe to 3,000 or 2,500 RPM before anything started to happen. And not only is that not very good for a performance car, it's actually kind of dangerous, because if you need to get out of a fast-paced junction, or if you need to get onto the motorway, then you're going to be struggling to get up to speed, which, like I mentioned, it's dangerous. You want to be able to get up to speed nice and safely without having to rag the car. And I found that with the K&M filter, you really had to put your foot down before anything happened. The car would kick in at around 3,000 RPM, which for a small car with a big engine and big turbo, you want it to go right away. That's the best part about Abarths, because they're just so agile and very fast low down, and all their performance is pretty much from the get-go. As soon as you put your foot down, they're off, much. You can use them within the limit and have a very fun time without having to break any speed limits. So taking that away, it's not great, because not only will the car feel so sluggish and slow, you're just having to put your foot down all the time in order for anything to happen. And that's also not good on your fuel economy. I mean, imagine putting your foot down all the time, you're going to be decreasing your MPG by quite a lot, which is also not great either. So torque is super important, and sometimes, like I said earlier, it is the luck of the draw. You'll get something that maybe will increase your torque, keep it the same, or take it away. And unfortunately, I found that the K&N filter takes away torque. Like if I just put a foot down, oh, and a bang as well, that was instant. The power and the throttle response was just right there from the get-go, and that wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have been doing that if the K&N filter was installed. I'd be putting my foot down, we'd be waiting, and then off we go. So at the end of the day, is it worth installing a performance filter? Me personally, I actually don't think you should do it, guys. Now, of course, everyone's car is different, and somebody's setup will be either the same as mine or even crazier than mine is, and maybe the K&N filter will work for them. But for me, I've just found it didn't work. Like, look at that! Man, this car is ridiculously, ludicrously fast, and that's all thanks to that paper filter. It's an immediate send-off, if that makes sense. Or to put it in simpler terms, it just goes instantly. Oh, wow. And even when I had the K&N filter in, really good gears, like second gear, would be the exact same. It would feel like third or fourth. And honestly, if I'm being completely 100% honest, it felt like I was accelerating in fourth or fifth gear, which that's not good, guys. That's really not good. With a really small, powerful performance car, you want everything to be there as soon as you put your foot down. So, just like you experienced then, or I experienced, second gear it just goes. It makes this car fly. And second gear, that's where all your power comes from. That is the powerful gear. The main thing about the K&N filter is that it sacrifices torque for more airflow, though I don't think this is a very good trade-off. Me personally, low-end torque is very important, especially for a small turbocharged car like the Abarth. There we have it, folks. I've parked up again, and that'll pretty much wrap up today's video. Just a short one going over paper and performance filters. But at the end of the day, everyone will have a different experience. Your mileage may vary. I personally am going to keep the paper filter in my car because I found that the torque is fantastic and the lower down power band is amazing. You can use it, it's there all the time, and when you need it, this car will fly. And I just didn't find that to be the case with the performance filter, which is a shame, but the thing with the performance filter is that it affects the top end. So once you do get onto that power, once it is available, after waiting a few seconds, it is very fast. You know, it does increase the top end speed, but that's no good. How many times are you going to be at the top end? Especially when you daily drive a car, you're going to be at the lower end of the rev range and power band a lot more. So you want that torque and power to be available instantly. More airflow and all that is great, fantastic. But you've got to consider the practicality of that power. Can you use it? If I do this, will it affect it? Will I have to wait longer for the power to kick in? You just got to think about these things, guys. But in the comment section down below, guys, please let me know your personal thoughts and opinions on the performance filters. And let me know about your experiences with them. Would you rather keep the paper filter, or do you prefer to have a performance filter? Do you rate it? Do you think it actually gives you more performance, or would you rather keep the OEM one because you, like me, think that it has a fantastic amount of torque and is actually sort of better than a performance one? Because well, everyone will have different stories, opinions, and experiences. So just let me know down below. I'd be very intrigued to read your guys' comments and see what other people have thought about them. But apart from that, that is going to be everything for today, folks. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really do like doing these informative videos. And if you guys would like to see anything else in particular, whether it be specific topics, then again, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. I would definitely enjoy recording some videos like this. And if you'd like to see any of those types of videos or any other style of content on this channel, whether it be Cadwell Park, modified cars, things for the above, which I do have some new things on the car, by the way, guys, video coming soon. But if you'd like to see them and see them as soon as they come out, then you guys know what to do. Hit that bell, like, comment, and subscribe, all of that good stuff, because it's always appreciated. And you guys got to see the new gear stick today. Oh, it just looks so awesome, especially on camera as well. It feels fantastic too. And, well, in a future POV drive video, I'll chat more about it, especially how it feels on the road. But for now, I'll see you guys in the future. Have a good one.